There was a time when the EV market was dominated by Western companies, and if you wanted a Chinese solution, you'd have to take a serious hit on quality and performance. Well, we're in 2023 now, and the marketplace has completely changed. With Chinese companies like BYD taking the EV space by storm, what was once a company that was laughed out of the door by Elon Musk.
Although there's competitors now, as you're familiar with BYD. Why do you laugh? BYD is trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you seen their car?
Has developed into a genuine global player in the EV space. And in this video, we'll give you a complete rundown of BYD, from its history to its best models in the current lineup. So, let's get straight into this one. BYD has been around for about 20 years now. It's had a pretty interesting journey along the way, with a strong upward trajectory virtually every year. So, the company was first formed in 2003. BYD, which by the way stands for Build Your Dreams, came to life after the parent company BYD Co. acquired Qinshuan Machinery Works Group. After this acquisition, BYD had the infrastructure and resources to start producing vehicles. And in 2008, the company officially released its first unique model, the BYD F3. This thing was actually the first ever production-level plug-in hybrid and was received very well in China. From this point forward, BYD only began to grow. By 2009, the F3 had become China's best-selling sedan, which promoted the group to start exporting to Africa, the Middle East, and South America. By 2016, BYD was recognized as the world's top-selling plug-in manufacturer and had undoubtedly cemented itself as the top dog in China. And in 2022, the company reached a huge milestone, overtaking Tesla in sales for the first half of the year. Fast forward to today, and BYD is easily Tesla's biggest rival, the biggest car company in the East, and a force to be reckoned with. The company's growth has been nothing short of unprecedented, but it all comes down to one thing: they produce awesome cars. BYD has a pretty extensive lineup of cars right now, ranging from the E1, a small city car, to the E9, a larger sedan with more luxurious features. For the purposes of this video, let's take a look at 3 of the company's best models. So, BYD's smallest and cheapest car in the lineup is the humble E1. This thing is a tiny little city EV that's designed for people who literally just want to get from A to B as cheaply as possible. Everything is designed to save space, and you'll struggle to fit more than 2 people inside. You'll also struggle to hit 50 miles per hour in under 5 working days. However, this thing costs just over 10 grand, so if you're looking for reliability on a budget, the E1 is one of the best on the market. In fact, it might even be better than the Citroën Ami. Next up is the Atto 3. This thing has received the most attention from the West, and for good reason. The Atto 3 is a compact crossover EV and genuinely packs great specs even in the Western market. It can go for 230 miles and charge from 20 to 80% in 35 minutes. The ride is comfortable. The interior is spacious and the infotainment options are very strong. And with a price tag of just under $45,000, it's great value for money too. And then we finally got the Han 9. This thing has been inspired by a dragon, according to the company, and it's very fiery all round. With 518 horses under the bonnet, it'll fly like a dragon too, going from 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. You'll also get about 280 miles of range per charge. Now, BYD doesn't just produce regular EVs for the masses. Nope, they also create solutions for specific industries. For example, they recently came out with the BYD J9G, an electric garbage truck that helps garbage companies reduce their impact on the environment. They even produce an electric haul truck for the mining industry called the V60. Other electric car companies are doing similar things to this. Tesla has its semi-truck, for instance. However, no one's doing it to the level that BYD is. And in a few years, all of this diversity could pay off. I mean, you could be going to work in your BYD car, hop on the BYD bus, and then have your rubbish collected by a BYD truck. The possibilities are endless. The future of BYD cars is looking bright too. At the recent Shanghai Auto Show, they released a whole host of upcoming vehicles for us to get excited about. One of the most exciting displays was the BYD Song L concept car. This thing is built upon the company's new E-Platform 3.0, and pricing will start at just $10,000. We also got to look at the Seagull, a new hybrid that'll be capable of driving over 124 miles on electric power alone. Now, after looking at this current lineup of models, you may be wondering when BYD will start selling in America. Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it doesn't look like the US is going to benefit from BYD technology anytime soon. In a recent interview, it was made clear that BYD is steering clear of the American market because in the company's eyes, there's no way that it will be able to penetrate the market. And to be fair, you can kind of see why. There are dozens of EV choices in the USA nowadays, and most people are going to prefer buying from a brand that they've heard of before, rather than a company that never really gained traction in the West. However, I think it's also important that we never say never. At one point in time, we all thought that no one would be able to rival Tesla's EV technology and market dominance. Fast forward to today, and BYD is closer to overtaking Tesla than ever before. BYD has also benefited from massive success with exports to other countries like Singapore. So hopefully they will change directions someday in the future and allow American drivers to experience what China has to offer. We're also slowly starting to see BYD warm to the European market. BYD has made it clear that it wants a piece of the European pie, and with models that pose such great value to buyers, when they do try to take over the space, they're likely going to have great success. So, if we look at the current market share, Tesla is BYD's biggest rival right now. In Q2 of 2023, Tesla had a 20% market share compared to BYD's 15%. And this is going to be expected. Tesla has always been the king of the EV space, and it's going to take a lot of work to dethrone them. Next up on the list was the Volkswagen Group, which had a share of 7%. However, country trajectories are a whole different story, and actually bode well for Team BYD. So, between Q1 and Q2 of this year, Tesla's market share has actually dropped by 2%, whereas BYD's grew by 1%. So, this gap is definitely closing, and in the next few years, BYD could actually pull ahead of Tesla. It already produces more cars than the American company. Now, it just needs those cars to be recognized in the market. Closer to home, BYD blows virtually all of its competition out of the water. You know Li Auto, the creators of the Li One, a spectacular EV? Yeah, in July 2023, this company sold almost 200,000 units less than BYD. So, it's safe to say that should BYD take over Tesla, they will become the undisputed king of the EV space. However, it hasn't all been plain sailing for BYD, and the company has certainly faced its fair share of controversy throughout the last few years. For instance, in July of last year, something very strange happened to the residents living around BYD's Changsha factory. Virtually every resident began to suffer a pretty bad illness after being around the factory. It later turned out that the factory contained dangerous levels of total volatile organic compounds, which helped to explain why everyone was getting so ill. BYD threatened anyone who blamed the factory with a lawsuit, and then conveniently decided to shut the factory down for repairs. The site has also been blamed for causing local pollution for the last few years. The company has also faced serious allegations of copying designs from other manufacturers. Toyota has argued that the BYD F1 is a copy of the Toyota Aygo, and the BYD F3 is a copy of the Toyota Corolla. Even Mercedes joined the conversation, arguing that the BYD S8 was a copy of the Mercedes-Benz SL class. Despite their arguments, and even the truth behind them, the Chinese court has ruled in BYD's favor, stating that the company hasn't directly copied designs from other companies. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Now, these controversies shouldn't take away from BYD and its achievements, but still, every company has a skeleton or two in its closet, and it's always interesting to see just what those skeletons are. Ultimately, there's a reason why BYD is the biggest rival to Tesla. The company offers value for money, creates innovative technologies, and is getting better year after year. 10 years ago, they might not have looked like a threat to Tesla, but today, the tides have turned, and they're even in with a shot of dethroning the EV giant. The future looks bright for BYD. The upcoming range of cars will most likely top anything that BYD has ever achieved before, and as they work their way into more markets, the popularity of this company is only going to increase. I'd love to hear your thoughts on BYD. Will the company be able to find a home in the West, or are the models overrated? And on that note, I'll catch you in the next video.